Let's talk about hills in terms of goals. So there are two ways to do hills. One of those ways is to practice your downhill speed and your uphill speed. This is to practice your power, your coordination, your turnover of your feet, and how fast can you pick up your feet off the ground, how fast can you spin your legs, and how much power can you exert going uphill, how bad can you make your legs hurt. That's one way. The other way is as an endurance activity, as a medium run that just really beats you up. And in that case, you're not going all out. So let's pause for a minute and describe each one separately. What's the goal of doing hills all out? Well, as mentioned, you need to increase your leg turnover. Most people are not maxing that out. Elite runners are. I guarantee you, they all are. And some of it, yes, I know they're young and they're fast. But this isn't your fast twitch muscles, and this is trainable. Maybe not to be as fast as somebody elite, but you can be a lot better than you are in most cases. And when you limit foot contact time, you reduce the impact on your joints and you reduce the forces on your muscles. When you're first getting used to it, it's a lot of effort to pick your feet up fast. But when your nervous system gets used to it and things just turn over quickly, you actually are not impacting nearly as hard. I'm not talking about taking longer steps, although we're going to talk about how you can power down a hill also if it's a very runnable hill. We're not talking about that. We're talking about quick. How fast can you pick your foot back up when it hits the ground? Okay? So hill type 1, which in the other hill video we talk about, is you really practice that turnover, which means you get your heart rate down under 110 at the top of the hill, down where you feel calm breathing. And it's not just your heart rate, it's your mental focus. So if you're still standing up there going, maybe have a gel, maybe have a half a gel, maybe have a swig of water. Make sure that you actually have the focus. Take your brain and set your brain. I'm going to pick up my feet faster. I'm going to do it. And really actively trying to do it faster or at the edge of what your current ability is actually going to change your current ability over time. It's a thing. It's how the nervous system works. Yeah, there's a ceiling. That's what we're aiming for. Where is the ceiling? And then at a certain age, like at my age, I'm doing it because I'll be 50 next year. I'm strong. I'm a good athlete. But things decline. If I don't practice this, I'm going to lose this ability. I am. If you practice it, yeah, you're going to lose a little over time. I know. I'm not going to run the same at 70 as I did at 39. But that's okay. Actually, I could probably run the same at 70 as I did at 37 because I was reduced to limping a couple miles because I didn't know how to train my posterior chain and I had joint damage. It'll balance out. I digress. Hills the first way. You actually rest at the top. You even get to the bottom out of breath, okay? And you recover a little at the bottom. Not a lot, not as long as at the top because you don't need a bunch of focus, but enough that you can really power up. You should be done with that downhill in a minute or so. If you're taking more than that, maybe a minute and a half, maybe 45 seconds, but if you're making it too much longer than a minute and a half or 2 minutes, you're losing your focus. You may as well come to a full stop on your downhill, catch your breath fully, regain your mental focus, and then start down again, or just keep your hill shorter. Just pick a turnaround spot, okay? Because otherwise you're not really holding that focus. You're close to it. I can do hills very close to that, where to someone who doesn't know me, I look fast. That is not the same as all out. That's not the same as me really, really trying to pick my foot up each time as fast as I can. Very different workout. It's also an eccentric quad contraction. It is exhausting. I did 3 hours of 14 miles of hills last weekend. Type 2 hills. I can do that. And on some of those hills, I might look quick to someone who doesn't know me or compared to someone else, but this isn't about other people. And I could do 20 hill repeats or 15 hill repeats or something if I just dial it back just a little bit. But if I really do all out and I really push them, at the end of 10 of them, I hurt. I'm lying on the ground. I can do a few more, but I need to dial it back. I'm talking about really, really pushing your edge. So you do that. If you are not going to do that, then, and again, you don't have to stride out and beat your body up. It's how fast can you pick up your feet coming down. The answer is much faster than you think, and then power up as hard as you can. Sure, you can gradually increase pace going up, but you should really be hurting at the top. Your legs should burn. Maybe not the first 2, but thereafter there should be some burn. It should not feel good. It should be hard to breathe, really hard. I watched Kelly, who's in our project. She was working on it the other day, and she got about halfway up the hill, lay on the hill, because her heart rate was over 180. This is okay. That was not a fail. She found where her line was. And then we talked for a while, and I found she was doing the same length of hill I am, but because our paces are not the same, she was spending far too many minutes. So she was doing my same effort, but trying to hold it for a whole extra minute and a half. That's insane. So I'm coming up the hill in like 2:20 to 3 minutes, right? I can do that on that hill. I can still run a 6-minute mile or under. Okay, but it's not better or worse. It's not, oh well, cause someone's stronger, I'm just weak or slow. It's not about that. Get that shit out of your head. It's about, are you pushing your own edge? You cannot be pushing on your edge for 5 or 6 minutes. That's not really pushing your edge. You're having to slow down. With the down, she was coming all the way down this hill. Well, if I can get down that hill in under a minute, but it's taking her a minute and a half or 2 minutes, she's starting to lose mental focus, and her leg turnover isn't the same by the bottom. I mean, I'm 1 minute of really trying to turn over as fast as I can, and I need to pause, you know? Now, I can do pretty quick for an hour. So again, doing type 1 hills, don't be screwing around and doing it halfway. If you're going to do halfway, then just do type 2 hills. Stop taking pauses at all. Take almost no pauses unless you just need a sip of water or something to keep your energy up, and do them as a continuous workout. If at first an hour is all you get, if you're hiking half of the up because that's what's sustainable, that's completely okay. This is the time for that. But if you're going to hike it, really power hike it. You may have a hill that in an ability level or a strength level where for you that is it. Really power hiking has you fully winded if you don't pause at all. If that's where you're at, do that. Okay, but you should be still at a point where you can turn around and start back down. So when you do the type 2, you're not trying to spike everything to where you have to lie on the ground. Maybe after an hour and a half of them you do, but you're trying to go a lot more continuous. Very little pauses, much more continuous. So it still might be quick, but not as quick. It might be more your 25 or your 50K effort when you do this type 2 hills. What I don't want to see is the in-between, which is what I see a lot of people doing. They aren't really going all out. They're resting not long enough to really get rest, but too long to make it steady endurance. They're going too hard to really hold it for steady endurance, but they're not really going all the way hard. Pick a thing. Do one of the things or do the other one of the things. Okay? On a long run, when there are hills, you're not doing a hill workout. Your goal is to figure out, this is how much effort it took to jog steady. I want to stay not much above that when I go up. Really, I swear I'm going to have to just do more Strava stalking of very good runners. I've seen Killian's recently because someone reposted it. And he does, if you look at his data for the heart rate zone he's in, which his zones are different than mine. He's got a higher max heart rate than I do, so his zone's in a different spot. He's incredibly fit. But you still see when he's at Hard Rock, you don't see him get up into this anaerobic zone that you see when he does, say, a trail marathon that he's done within 3.5 hours. You see him holding steady. You might visually see him jogging with little steps, and you might have to walk that, but he's actually holding steady. He is not bringing his heart rate up that much. And he'll come up a little bit more because he's got incredible recovery, and he's got such good downhill technique and such turnover that he's able to let gravity do the work and be going at what for us is a fast pace. For him, it's easy. He can run down faster than that and push himself. And that's part of the type 1 hills. You're going to be so fast that then, when you cut back to something that is now maintainable, not beat yourself up, your heart rate will come down. You'll be able to recover during your downhills. You will not be blowing stuff out. And it will be hugely helpful in finishing ultra distances. But again, think about what you're doing on that day. Do your goal workout. Do not do the in-between workout. Pick a thing. Do the thing. The endurance hills, they're very good for about 3 weeks out, the day before long run. If you're really worried about your hilly ass next race, nothing like 3 hours of just hill. Don't be picking a route that's actually only half the distance is on a hill. People do that, oh, it's a really hilly route. No, that's okay. You can do your medium run that way, completely okay. But that's not actually quite hill repeats. But if that's what you've got that you can tolerate, sure. But again, this is hills at more like your 25K effort. So not running full out. Pay attention to your foot contact time and stuff, but you're not winded at the bottom to where you need a pause. You're not winded at the top so badly that you have to stop. You should be able to turn around and come back down and recover on the way down without coming to a walk. All right, that's it for hills today.